Hello, my name is Shadley. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Korea. In previous episode, we did manage to improve the economy somewhat, but also getting a bit of, or incurring a bit of debt here right now. We're trying to pass the protectionism law, but that hasn't been going too well, although we're just one success away from, well, actually, no, two successes away from actually passing the law. So never mind, it's going to take a little while then. We're building a bit more universities to get our innovation back to the max. Oh, campaign financing. That would be even more cost for... I'm going to spare that still, regardless. I mean, once we're done with the universities, which admittedly will cost us a decent bit, but then the private sector can take over for a little while again, and we can hopefully pay off or do a bit more construction. We're getting another silk plantation, actually. And the iron mine is still not really being built, oddly enough. But right now the market is still... Oh, it's waiting for ammunition. I can make those. Oh, I could build something that could make those, but I don't have the explosives. And I don't think there's a lot of explosives in the market in general, is there? I think the answer is no. There's a little bit of fertilizer. Some livestock ranches, but that's about it. Oh, election results are in. Okay, let's have a look. So Conservative Party is the leading one. I suppose we may need to just go with that one. At least the legitimacy is going to be pretty high. Despite the higher taxes, it's still going to be 100. So there is that. But now we only got the 30% support for the protectionism. That's not a lot. And the landowners definitely have still fairly high clout there, which unfortunately I can't really do too much about. But the canneries are going to be done fairly shortly. That is going to require a bit more iron though, which I'm not entirely sure that it's going to be entirely profitable then. But we shall see. Also, is there any more? There's a lot of journal entries. Let's have a look at the things. So... Path of liberalism, that's not gonna... Oh, right. Development. Branching out. We need to get the rail transportation... Oh, right. We need to get the rail... Yeah, so activate that. A whaling industry still need to get level 3. Oh, we don't have an admiral. Oh, okay. We'll create a fleet in Manchuria. And we'll get an admiral. That's gonna be an easy thing to sort out. Aha, whaling industry completed. A dangerous business. We need to ensure the safety of our sailors. We get popularity. Or we get... Ooh. I'm going to take this throughput, actually. So what else? The steam engine time. Motor industries, at least level 3. That's 7 years time to do that. And also we need to have some railways built. Okay, so we've gotten the innovation up to 68.5 already. 2 more weeks and we get the canneries done by the looks of it. We've still got quite a few universities being built, so the cost that we're incurring is fairly high. But I suppose, yeah, we'll be getting... Oh, debate failed. Well, that's not good. We're down to 20%. Still need to pass twice in here. That's not going to go well, I reckon. There we go. The literary rate is still slowly improving. Oh, and there's the canneries. Right, so what I'm probably going to do is... let's have a look at the one over here, for example. Which one of these would be more profitable? The fish would probably be more profitable in here, at least. We'll do that one there. Do we have any... No, we don't have any meat production in this state. So I guess this one's also going to be fish cannery. Do we have... we've got some livestock ranches in here. We'd probably go ahead and increase that to the slaughterhouses. Get even more meat out of it. And then over here we can perhaps go with the meat canneries instead. Just get a bit of variety of food. I mean, technically speaking, it's still all going to be grocery, so it doesn't really change the situation too much. But it gives us a bit of demand for the... livestock ranches then as well. Speaking of which, we could probably improve the ones in here, at least with the butchering tools. And now we've got 9.2 million GDP. Still quite a bit of catching up to do with Jing. They've got 92 million, so it's still about 10 to 1. But we're getting the innovation up. We are hopefully improving our economy as well in the meanwhile. Although there's still quite a bit... Well, the iron mine is not going to be built very quickly, I'm afraid. But hopefully at some point it will be done a little bit faster. We could potentially increase the taxes even further to start making a bit more money. I'm not entirely sure that I really want to do that, quite frankly. There's another university built. How's the paper price looking like, by the way? It's a little bit elevated, so I'm guessing we're still paying quite a bit for the expenses. We're still paying 10,000 for all the paper for the government administration and the universities. And for the military, we're paying a decent bit for the artillery and small arms. We don't produce the artillery ourselves. We do at least produce the small arms more or less ourselves. And it's, well, we're producing 73, which is not actually that huge amount. It's okay for our current needs, I reckon, but beyond that, not really all that great. I ran for the ages. Road traffic in Hangzhou has been halted as hang your tag, drew a crowd into a major avenue and ramble at nauseating length about the government's proposal for protectionism. The blockage has prevented the legislature from reaching quorum. So either we get a minus 10% success chance and 20% time, or we take minus 5%. I think we'll take that one. So we still have a chance of passing the law, although it's very diminishing chances at this point. At least the landowner's clout has been slowly hindering again, or hindered for a little bit longer. Population is still increasing quite a bit, but the GDP is on the rise, despite the universities taking quite a bit of stuff. And how much are we... Oh, interests are almost 4,000 per week already. That is starting to be pretty high. Although overall the credit is actually less than 1 million. We could have up to 7 in a pinch. But of course at that point the interest rates are going to be massive. Faith knows no borders. We'll make sure to keep the intelligentsia happy right now. I don't want to improve relations with Jing too much, because that's going to start reducing our liberty desire even further. And I can't really do any demands in there right now, because they are already supporting the regime, which does improve our legitimacy, to be fair. Allows us to keep the taxation a bit higher. Actually, how much is it? Total clout of government, 61. 21, so that's ideological incompatibility. Oh, right, we built another building, so that's why the expenses are a little bit less there. I'm thinking maybe we should go for high taxes for a little while. So we're going to start paying off some of the debt, and then once the... Oh, scandalous. We get a minus 10% success chance, I would take minus 5%. We'll stay focused on the law. There we go, 4 to 5 months for the mass communication. Oh, and what was the production? Oh, better process. Oh, brilliant, more steel. The mass communication needs means a bit more authority. We still haven't got the romanticism, but next one's either going to be banking or that one, so we'll get that hopefully soon enough, but then we're going to get the agrarianism at least, maybe. And thus, perhaps get rid of some of the bad laws that we have. At the same time, at least the innovation is improving. Technically speaking, we might not need both of these, but I'm going to build both of them because the literature rate is going to be improving over time. So the innovation cap will be increasing at that same-ish speed. Or similar speed, let's just say. Now, the iron mine in our capital is almost built. They are still hiring more in there. I suppose the coal price is starting to be pretty high, though. But I'm guessing after that, there's probably a good chance that another coal mine will be built. And also, has the motor industry been sold? It has been. Well, there we go. So we don't need to pay for the cost of that. At least not as much. But they're not really getting dividends from that. It's not too bad of balance, mind you. But it's also not great. But that does save us a little bit of money. And we probably did get some money from that. Oh, another tooling workshop. Well, that'll be handy. And food industry, well, that's going to take a while. I think we'll probably get both of the universities done before the food industry is complete, and then the private sector can take over the construction costs. We'll pay off the loans, and then we'll lower the taxes. At least, that's kind of the plan right now. Now, hopefully we can get the protectionism laws passed, because this current situation is not great. The isolationism does mean less tech cost. Oh, debate fail as well. Oh, brilliant. So yeah, the tax spread, taxation capacity is improved, though. But less interest is not helping us. With protectionism, at least we will be able to do some trade. And yeah, all that. So that could be useful. Oh, there we go. Got another building done. So that's briefly, we were getting a lot more money back. We're still making a profit. Just about. Legislative failure. So yeah, protectionism does not pass. Anything else that we could maybe try passing? Let's see. Ooh. Well, the Republic, yeah, no, there's not that much support for it. Armed Forces are supporting both of these, but that's about it. A lot of opposition for it. We could go back to oligarchy, but I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not going to go back to serfdom. Professional Army doesn't have a lot of support either. Elected bureaucrats doesn't have a lot of support either, so there's not just all that much that we can really try to pass. Now, maybe we can wait the protectionism movement to gain a bit more influence and all that. Before we try to pass, or we won't be able to pass it for a little while anyway, but before we try it again, we'll just let it wait for a while. Now, how is the railway over here is that is actually profitable. It's not giving us a lot of dividends, but it does give us a little bit. And it does reduce the transportation costs. I suppose, is there... There's still a little bit more demand for transportation that we offer. We're going to go ahead and build a railway in the northwestern state. That's going to make the motor industry a bit more profitable again. It's going to make the transportation cost over here a lot less. Ooh, mass communication, there we go. Getting a little bit of the authority back. And then what is going to be the next thing? Spreading in the text. Romanticism, there we go. Finally getting that one. Shell gun is underway. And well, the university is going to take a while. Well, 10 weeks actually, it's not that long. The railway is going to take a decent bit longer, mind you. It's twice as long to build. Oh, Russia started a diplomatic play against Qing. Interesting. Now, I'm pretty sure that I cannot declare independence yet. Or demand state for that matter. Let me just double check. Interactions. I can still damage the relations. Yeah, we just need more literary society to be able to demand that. Okay, well, that's going to take a while then. Oh, and now with even the high taxes, things are looking pretty rough. I suppose there is a lot of unrealized taxes still. 32,000 total. Yangtze would be... Well, that's the northwestern state. We might want to just build another government administration in there. I'm going to build that before we build the railway. But we will get the university in there at least. But that way we can maybe start getting a bit more taxes again. And also get a bit more bureaucracy, which, to be fair, we could improve the law enforcement right now. Get a little bit less radicals. And there we go. GDP is almost 10 million. Which I'm guessing Jing is 90-something. 94, so it's less than 10 times the difference now. Of course, raw numbers-wise, they are still probably growing faster than we are. But they are running into a lot of issues with the military. Fighting wars and all that. No bread, no freedom. I guess we'll take the wage increase temporarily. It might cause a bit of extra issues in terms of economy, but I think we'll just have to take that. Oh, actually, no, we're making more money. Oh, right, we completed a building. That's probably why. Well, partially why, at least. So the government administration is already underway. The food industry is still going to take a while, over a year to build, unless we build some other things first. But no, it's going to take a while, regardless. Actually, where do we have... Alright, we've got 2 in our capital. And we do not have any construction sectors in these 2 states in the east. So that's something that we might want to build, but not right now. Because I'm pretty sure that that would just... Well, no, actually the iron price isn't that bad anymore. It's still fairly bad, but not as bad. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and build up the construction sector in both of these, just one. And then, but we'll wait for the railway to be built first. And then we can let those be built, or maybe we'll build like one of them and then the railway and the other one. So it's going to incur quite a bit of cost, but then the investment pool will be used to basically just pay off our loans. And also it will increase the amount of stuff that we can build. It's going to get our construction to total to 40, which is still fairly small, but it will help in increasing the GDP further. Which is one of the things that we're trying to get in here. So why is the diplomatic play about? Oh, right, Nepal and... Oh. Right, so Jing is in a war already. Allying Nepal. Oh, and that has been occupied. Farming boom. We'll get the throughput. And maybe the standard of living would be quite nice to improve, but right now I think our economy is in a bit of a shambles right now, so I'd rather improve that. So I'm guessing the diplomatic play between Russia and Jing. I don't know actually what happened with that. We're losing a few £1,000s per week in cash, but I suppose the government administration will fix some of that. We'll get more bureaucracy, we'll get better taxation, although taxation capacity, if we have a look at the actual overview in here, we only got 200 out of the 400 required, and I believe, how much is that per, I suppose it's like 50 per level, more or less. Not necessarily. No, it's actually less than that. No, it is actually about 50, yeah. Am I seeing things wrong in here? No, it should be 50. Or maybe not, no. No, it's 25 per level, I think. Well, I mean, it's still okay. Improvement in there. Although the actual money that we're getting from it is a bit less, but the government, or the construction... Oh, there we go. That's actually not good, but gold depleted in West Borneo. And now we're getting the railway being built. That's going to take another 30 weeks, although it's actually going to speed up a tiny bit, because the amount of construction that we'll be getting soon enough is improving. Not necessarily very quickly, but I'm hoping that that's going to allow us to get the railway done in like 25 weeks maybe. And then the other construction sector, although we could probably just get that one built quickly, that's going to be another 5 weeks. And then after that, we'll have a bit more construction to spare, especially for the private sector while we're doing other things. So if we have 40 total, that's at least going to be 10 construction for private sector at all times. Which honestly, that's, while not massive, it will definitely help. And there we go. Well, now we're getting 23 already per week over here. And that's still going to be 2 weeks before the construction sector in Yeongnam is actually built. But that is a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. Now more of that is going for the railway. So while it did slow down some of the stuff, well, I suppose the construction sector in the north isn't really up to date yet, or not fully operational. They're still hiring a lot of people there. They've got a little bit already workers in there, but some of the costs are actually quite formidable. But there's already 8 per week for the food industry. And hopefully it will be growing a lot. Oh, there we go, 8.3. Yeah, no, it's definitely going up. And I suppose that helps that we got the construction sector there now, so we actually get more brokers per week regardless. And the railway, now there's 25 weeks to get that one. I do actually wonder, so how much could the motor industries actually produce if they were doing full speed? So that's 40. Okay, 40 engines, and how much do we need per railway? 5. Okay, I mean, that would be up to 8 levels of railways. Probably like 6, and then a little bit for various construction, or the production buildings later on once we unlock those things. There we go, the innovation is maxed out currently. Yep. We would have up to 77 at least. But right now, of course, that is a little bit more limited. But that will, while the literary rate grows, we'll also be getting more innovation. Oh, and looks like Jing is having a bit of issues here. I suppose that's probably causing their GDP to drop. But I do wonder if that is affecting our... Well, yeah. There's about 9 times still. Or the 9 times the difference. How's the market looking like? So groceries are in very high demand. Small arms are in very high demand. Man wars are in high demand. Coal is in pretty high demand. Fertilizer, steel is also in fairly high demand. But that's only produced by us anyway. And used mostly by us anyway as well. So that doesn't really affect most of the market. But there we go, 4 weeks for the food industry, and 16 more weeks for the railway. Or another bit of railway. That will hopefully help along with our situation in here, and maybe we can then start paying off some of the loans. Currently the investment pool is not going to be growing that quickly. It is still growing, so at least that is going to be good. And the food industries, yeah, there's 2 weeks. Then silk plantation and engine input is a little bit shortage, or short again. I do actually wonder, so how many... There's buy orders for 9. Oh, people are buying those from us. Okay, who's actually buying that then? Russia is. Oh. Alright then. Well, I suppose it does provide a bit more demand for the engines, thus the motor industry will have actually some profit. Ooh, law enforcement investing level 2. Excellent. So yeah, with the trades like that, I suppose... Oh, there we go. Now it's 8. And the buy orders are still at 9, so I'm guessing it's not going to be going much beyond that yet. Oh, Metropolitan Police. Let's have a look at that journal entry. I'm out in 19 years. We need to have law enforcement level 5. Oh, I don't think we'll get that one. Urbanized Korea, or Joseon. That's going to require a little bit more level 5 urban centers. We'll get that eventually, but right now we're not quite there yet. Although, that being said, we've got level 6 already in our capital. Oh, actually, public trams. Oh yeah, we'll get that one. It will cause a little bit of... actually, it's an extra engine per level, so that's 6 engines that we'll need. It's going to reduce the labor demand a little bit, but that's going to allow us to have a good amount of transportation, which will then provide a little bit better standard of living and all that. Plus, I suppose, I don't know actually if it makes the railway any more profitable. No, it's probably reducing the profits of the railway, because the transportation is, the demand for it is reduced a little bit. But I'm still going to take that. So the railway, that's going to be 6 more weeks. Silk plantation, oh, it's already getting 15, there we go. I suppose we're only building one thing at a time here currently, so that means that a bit more of that will go for the private sector, which actually that's fine. It does mean that the amount of money that... Okay, so there's still about almost 60 or 50,500 that will be getting extra once the private sector is done. So we can still pay off the loans, although we've got quite a bit of credit already. There's 2 more tobacco plantations being built by the Chinese, by the looks of it. So there is that, and I don't suppose there's much that I can do with China. Not really. Liberty site is still dropping quite drastically. Yep, I can't do too much on that then. But I can't demand the independence. I think that's, I suppose I should have been just constantly demanding the things to increase the Liberty side faster. Oh, shellgun, there we go. I suppose also we could get some more prestige. What we're going to do is we're going to build up a little bit of a fleet. Just get like a 1 light or frigate right now, I suppose. We'll start building up the fleet to like, I don't know, 10 ships at least. Oh, screw frigate is spreading. Okay, that's going to provide a little bit more... well, it's going to provide some new production methods. And Bessemer process is going to take over a year, about a year to year and a half before that's done. We're going to keep the intelligentsia happy. I do not want to improve relations with Qing. Petition the government to oligarchy. No. I'm not going to take oligarchy. An exile at the gates. Who is this one then? We'll join the movement to enact protection invited. Sure. Oh, so that's a new, Oh, no, colonial exploitation, okay. Alright then. Not exactly what I expected. So now that we're building the naval... Oh, and there's a bit of fights going on between Qing and the British. Neither side is really winning too much. Well, I suppose Qing is winning a little bit in there. Oh, did they just get a truce? Oh, they got a truce. Do wonder what actually changed hands in there. Probably not much. Oh, we can request knowledge sharing? Sure. They denied it, as per usual. Which does mean that at least the Liberty side did go up a little bit. And poor relations are definitely a thing, so that's improving, or reducing at least the deficit there a little bit. They are still supporting our regime, though, which is, on the other hand, is great. It does help us, but at the same time, it's also not all that great. But there we go, the construction speed is now improving a lot. The GDP will probably start increasing a lot in the near future, but the investment pool is not bottomless. So sooner or later, we'll need to do some things to alleviate the issues. Yeah, the tooling workshop, that's going to be in another 11 weeks. How's the tool situation in the market anyway? It's roughly equal, or even there. Is there, Oh yeah, there's someone's buying from us a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. I'm guessing the coal price is also... Yeah, it's still fairly high. Iron is fairly high. Oil price is pretty high as well. We got the opium issue still, as per usual, because I don't think we can grow any of that in our market. So everything needs to be purchased. Now let's see, any laws with the government support that we could maybe try to actually pass? Not really. When is the next election then? 24th of February 1865. Okay, so that's going to still take a little while. At least our relations with China are fairly bad. And we're paying off some of the loans that we've incurred, so that's good. The innovation cap is still well over the... Or the max innovation that we can have right now is well below what we have already built up. And I suppose with the extra universities, we're definitely getting a bit more qualifications over here. Which should mean that the hiring of people is going to be slightly cheaper, I hope. But we did get the extra railway up here, which is reducing the transportation price a decent bit. But over here, actually, there's still a lot of consumption for transportation. So what we might actually do is we'll go for the urban center and put in the public trams in there as well. That's going to require a little bit more engines, but that does mean that the motor industries are finally making, well, not really a massive profit yet, but there is a lot of demand for that stuff at least. And it's the sell orders for steel mills, is that all ours? Not entirely. We produce a good chunk of that. But there is actually one in southern Manchuria as well. But Yongnam? So this one's not producing a huge amount of steel, is it? No. Where was the other steel mills? Oh, we got one in our capital, okay. Well, that's probably in a good place, to be fair. And how long until the... Right, 8 to 10 months for the Bessemer process. So at least some progress is happening there. How's the world looking like right... Oh, wow. Ottomans having a bit of a revolt, and the Ottomans have definitely lost a lot of land to Egypt. Italy's a thing. Austria is still pretty strong. Prussia is, as per usual, fairly strong. France is okay in the house. Oh, right. Well, as usual, Africa's a bit of a mess. No Ethiopia, but that's quite usual. And what about in the Americas? So, Brazil is still split in two. Bolivia is a thing. Argentina is slowly blowing downwards. Or southwards. Oh, Mexico is still fairly strong, although USA is also quite substantial. They're the number 5 great power, whereas Mexico is only 10. I suppose the GDP... Oh yeah, the GDP difference is massive there. We're number 15 in terms of GDP. If we do have a look at the ledger then... Who are we? Okay, we're pretty close to Egypt and Mexico. I think we can probably surpass Egypt soon enough. In terms of population, we're at 18.5 million. Actually, how far on the list are we? We're number 10. Okay. Not too shabby. There's another iron mine being built in our capital. That's probably the foreign quarters, isn't it? Yeah, it is foreign quarters. Okay, and the whaling station also in southeast. Oh, is that the last level for it? It is. Okay, well, at least some of that is domestic ownership of the stuff there. Is there... Right, so Russia, how strong are you? You've got 260 battalions. You're the number 1 in terms of military size, are you? Yeah, the number 1 in battalions. Okay. Well, is there anything else that we can do with Jing to maybe start getting a bit more liberty? We're still kind of stuck in here. Now, we're still very much dependent on their economy. Now, to be fair, there's not much I can do about that. We are very much entangled. They are also... Well, I suppose there's a lot of ownership of the stuff in... Or their stuff is owned... Or rather, a lot of our stuff is owned by the Chinese. That causes some issues. Is there... How's the lead situation on the market? There's a little bit extra, actually. There's only the glass works in our states that I've been using that. Is there... Well, I suppose I could go ahead and use the leaded glass a bit more. So that's at least being used. I suspect that we can probably go with the slaughterhouses now. And the lead mines, I don't know if I want to use coal on those yet, because I'm pretty sure the coal price is still fairly high. 30% over, well, across the market, of course. So it's still relatively elevated, but it's not the worst, actually, at this point. And how much do we get? No, the Navy doesn't really give us a lot of stuff yet. We're also trying to still pay off some of the loans, but at this point, we could probably go ahead and build out another ship. For the fleet. Just to, you know, increase the fleet size a little bit. Shouldn't take too long to build that. It's, what, 50? Or is it 100? It's 100 construction total. So, yeah, 4 weeks and that will be built. It slows down some of the construction speed in here, but actually not that bad. The paper mill's underway quite nicely. We're getting another whaling station. Okay. Well, that's fine by me. Engine input is still a bit of low end of things. I suppose the motor industry... Oh, they reduced the... Oh, the buy orders were probably reduced. Now there's the 25 buy orders. No, there's still a trade route, actually. I don't know why it just went down. It's very profitable currently. Oh, devout scandal. You are authoritarian. You know what? I'm going to force you to step down. Foreign manifesto. Colonial exploitation. I mean, I suppose we can let them get a little bit influenced there, just so that we can pass some more laws, really. How bad is the taxation capacity right now? So it's still pretty bad in, especially in the western 2 states. Even our capital could use a bit more, but I suppose the western 2 states are the ones that are more pressing right now. So we might go ahead and build another government administration. Get a bit more tax capacity and also have a bit more extra bureaucracy just in case. We are getting another paper mill by the private sector, so that's going to take a little while. But then we'll get some more logging camps, whaling stations and all that. So overall, we do still produce about... Actually, I do wonder. We'll look at the member... So the states in terms of GDP, we're not actually that high on the list. Our capital is 2.7 million almost. And then several over here. So we're kind of in the middle of the list. Or middle to lower half of the list currently. But of course, our industries are improving. Litter rate is improving. We're getting the... Hopefully we can get the Bessemer process done, actually. But it seems like it's going to take a while. Well, it's 7 to 9 weeks, so it's not that bad. And then we'll get some more steel, which means that the steel price is going to drop. The iron price might go up a little bit initially, but we can then start using steel on more things, perhaps. Maybe not... well, I don't think we'll be able to use that in construction yet anytime soon. Right, so after Bessemer process, there's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 options. The crystal class could actually be quite interesting. That would reduce the wood consumption in the glass making. Also, the amount of glass that we could produce is going to be even higher, although I don't suppose there is that much of a demand for glass right now. Well, there is a little bit overabundance of it. There's also a lot of trade routes that are... Where are those trade routes actually going? Oh, they're the British. Okay. Well, fair enough, I suppose. But I see that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if I haven't already. I'll show you the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.